Yeah, you do now, right?
Yeah, they don't peel off.
No, they won't. Not like
I was in Wonderland, and this little kid, I'm on the top of the water slide, and he tries to get out of the water slide with his tube and let down a 4x4. Very, very small. And so the lifeguard stopped me, and then she told me to go down, and I'm like, no, we were trying to find out who gets down, so no parents want to get involved. So I'm trying to talk to the kid. I was like, parents, who's with you? He was not even listening to me. He was like, one of the two. He was not responsive. He was ignoring me, trying to get past me on the other side. So it took 5 or 10 minutes to get out of the person up there. The lifeguard didn't want to take the platform. I guess that's why she wouldn't leave. Because I said, why don't you take the child off the platform? And she wouldn't. So she said, I gotta call somebody.
Yeah, but for them, they're lucky that it's a like in this sense that they don't like their pitcher pitches the bottom half of the first.
Yeah, that's true.
starting at 7:45?
Starting at 8.
It's 8 now? It'll be 8. It'll be 8.
Starting at 8?
No, well, I'm just guessing. They're just going on the field now, so. 7-3. 7-3. Live from Springwater Township, it's Inter-County Baseball on Baycats TV. Tonight at Vintage Throne Stadium, it is the Kitchener Panthers and the Barrie Baycats. Hi again, everybody, and welcome. With Julius, Hern, I'm Ben Davy. It is Country Night here at the ballpark, presented by Ranch 2.0. Let's give you the roundup of today's teams. The Panthers and the Baycats meet for just the second time this season. Second time here in Barrie, and last time on June 20th, Julius, it was the Baycats prevailing by a score of 7-3. Might be a tougher task for them tonight, however, as the Panthers come in here having won 5 in a row, arguably one of the hotter teams in the IBL right now.
And their offense has been the biggest story for them over that 5-game win streak. They've scored at least 6 runs a game in that last 5-game win streak, and the highlight of that win streak for them was a doubleheader sweep of the London Majors this past Sunday. A huge momentum swing for them carrying into this ball game, because these teams are going to play each other again this coming Sunday. So whoever wins this one might have a little bit of an advantage heading into Kitchener on Sunday.
Let's meet the players. Here's our public address announcer, Rob Daniels.
Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, batting fifth, the right fielder, number 10, Tyler Henriquez. Batting sixth, the center fielder, number 48, Junior Ibarra. Batting seventh, at first base, number 20, Nolan Misa. Batting eighth, the designated hitter, number 55, Ryan Burnside. Batting ninth, in left field, number 16, Spencer Vazen. On the mound tonight for Kitchener, number 97, Yadian Martinez. And now the starting lineup for your Barrie Baycats, managed by Josh Matlow. Batting first in center field, number 9, Canis Ejo. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Brandon Hernandez. Batting third in right field, number 95, Noel McGarry Doyle. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, number 29, Malik Williams. Batting fifth in left field, number 20, Nolan Macabroda. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 27, Ryan Rio. Batting seventh at third base, number 55, Hayden Jaco. Batting eighth at second base, number 26, Adam Odd. And batting ninth, the catcher, number 44, Tyler Plumpton. On the mound tonight for your Baycats, number 97, Frank Garces. Here are the umpires for tonight's ball game. Calling the balls and strikes behind home plate, Chubba Vay. At first base, Ryan Herron. And at third base, Dana Case. Fans, tonight is Country Night here at the ballpark, presented by the Ranch 2.0. We hope you enjoy tonight's game along with our country music playlist. Remember, if you are dressed up for the occasion, you can go to the merch booth to claim your Baycats buck. Tonight is also the Baycats annual golf raffle, with draws taking place each middle inning, starting at the 2nd and ending at the 6th inning. You can still get your tickets at the program booth for $20 until the 5th inning draw. Fans, can you please rise, if you are able to, and kindly remove your hats for
Vintage Throne Stadium. We're about 25 minutes or so behind schedule tonight. A little bit of a late
to
arrival
the fans down the left and right
team.
field
They are
lines.
here and they are ready to go.
For your own
as the
safety,
Kitchener Panthers
please
make
be
their
aware of
second visit
batted
of the
or
season to Vintage Throne Stadium.
Yeah, and they're looking for a little bit of revenge because their last time here was a 7-3 loss to the Baycats, and the Panthers on that 5-game win streak, like we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they're really climbing up the standings as of late and on a little bit of a offensive upswing, I would say. So they're looking to continue that here tonight against Frank Garcet's, which poses a difficult task for them.
Here's the starting lineup for Bill Matish and the Panthers tonight. It's leadoff man Blake Jackland in his familiar spot in center field. Spencer Ross, the second baseman, batting second. Raul Gonzalez, who had an outstanding 2023 for the Panthers, batting third, and at shortstop. Nick Parsons, the cleanup man, at third base. Tyler Enriquez in right field, batting fifth. Junior Ibarra, the catcher, the number 6 spot. Nolan Misa, Ryan Burnside, Spencer Voisin, 7-8-9 for the Panthers here tonight.
And there, like I mentioned, going up against Frank Garcet's, who's back on the mound for the Baycats, and he started out the season a little bit kind of unlike himself, a bit uncharacteristic. He was extremely dominant last year for the Baycats, their ace of the first team All-Star in the IBL last year, but he's really picked up his pace lately, won two of his last 3 starts. His last one against Toronto July 4th, 6 innings, 1 earned run. Didn't get the win there, but a quality start for sure. Comes in with a 3-1 record in 6 appearances, 5 of those starts. 42 strikeouts, that's top 10 in the IBL, but on the other side, like we'll mention earlier, the number 1 in the IBL in strikeouts is on the other side for the Panthers, Yadier Martinez.
And it's Throwback Thursday night for the Baycats, so they're wearing their vintage red uniforms. The Panthers wearing their road black. Even more interesting than the Throwback Thursdays tonight, the country and western get-up that a lot of these players had before the game and during BP. You'll see all those pictures on our social media handles at the end of tonight's ball game if they're not up there already.
Well, in terms of theme nights, this always seems to be the most popular at least among the players, for sure. I mean, Tropical Night can get up there a little bit, but this one for sure is can't miss for the players whenever they're done their country western attire for batting practice.
Yeah, they absolutely love it. Lots of country music between innings as well that we'll get to enjoy, as Blake Jackland will step in to face Frank Garcet's as we get ready for the first pitch of the ball game tonight. And he's swinging, and it's a line drive right into the glove of Ryan Rio. We're underway on that note at 7:58 here at Vintage Throne Stadium.
Well, that was a good time to give you the defense for the Baycats in the outfield from left to right. Nola Macabrota, Kenise Ijo, Noel McGarry-Doyle. And on the infield, Hayden Jaco at third. Brandon Hernandez makes his first start at home for the Baycats. Adam Odds at second, and Ryan Rio's over there at first, making that nice catch on that line drive with Tyler Plumpton behind the dish for Frank Garcet's.
Maybe, I was going to say, maybe these guys will go up first pitch swinging tonight since they were a little bit late getting here. You mentioned maybe it'll be a shorter game since we're starting late. We'll see if that's the case. Spencer Ross comes to the plate. Little check swing. It's right back to the mound. And he just stops, and Garces will underhand it to Ryan Rio. 3 pitches, 2 outs here on the top of the first.
It was funny. Spencer Ross just looked at Frank Garces. They were staring at each other for a little bit as Frank came off the mound, and as soon as Ross knew what the outcome was going to be, he just turned right around, right back to the dugout.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that upset Frank or if they were just chuckling over it, but they had a little bit of a stare down there. As Gonzalez's first pitch swinging is playable, and it drops. 3 Baycats converging on that. McGarry Doyle, who's in right field, along with Adam Ott and Kinesijo.
Didn't look like that should have been Adam Odd's ball out there. Usually it's easier for the right fielder, in this case Noel McGarry Doyle, to make that play because he's running in on the ball. Adam Odd was kind of running back, had to make an over-the-shoulder attempt on that, and he overran it a little bit. But if I were the right fielder, that's definitely something I would call off.
Ryan Rio, he was also the third guy that was back there as well, but that ball was well out of his reach. So it's 0-1 to Gonzalez. Pitch is low. And that one just missed off the outside part of the plate, 2-1. Home plate umpire tonight is Chubba Vey. Ryan Hern at first, Dana Case at third. And now time is called as Gonzalez will step out. And now he's ready. 2-1 offering. A little slow roller to first. Ryan Rio handles that. Relay to Garces covering in time for the out. So a line drive and a couple of ground balls. A busy inning for Ryan Rio. Panthers go down, 3 up, 3 down in the top half of the inning. We're scoreless at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
The best of the Intercounty Baseball League descend on the Rose City on July 20th as the 2023 Dominico Cup champion Welland Jackfish and Welland Stadium host the 2024 Intercounty Baseball League All-Star Showdown and Home Run Derby.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
The best of the Intercounty Baseball League descend on the Rose City on July 20th as the 2023 Dominico Cup champion Welland Jackfish and Welland Stadium host the 2024 Intercounty Baseball League All-Star Showdown and Home Run Derby.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. First inning of play brought to you by McDonald's Barrie, home of the free fries with 5 Baycat strikeouts.
Here come the Baycats behind manager Josh Matlow. Kinesijo in center field leading off. Newcomer Brandon Hernandez will make his home debut. He's at shortstop batting second. Noel McGarry Doyle, that's third. Malik Williams, Nolan Macabrota, Ryan Rio in the heart of the order. And then Hayden Jaco, Adam Odd, and Tyler Plumpton to round out the bottom 9.
The Baycats offense as well have a tough test against the IBL strikeout leader as of right now. It's Yadier Martinez on the mound for the Panthers. Comes in with a 1-2 record on the season through 8 appearances, 7 of those starts, and 45 2/3 innings. He's been kind of the workhorse for this Panthers team. I'm actually surprised he got the start tonight, considering he pitched the first of the 2 games against London on Sunday.
2-hopper to the shortstop. Raul Gonzalez with a throw to first in time for the out. Let's look at the rest of the Panthers defense behind Martinez.
Behind Martinez for the Panthers this evening, Spencer Voisin is in left field, Blake Jacqueline in center, Tyler Henriquez is in right field. Meanwhile, on the infield, Nick Parsons gets the start at third with Raul Gonzalez at short. On the right side, it's Spencer Ross at second and Nolan Misa at first. with Junior Ibarra behind the plate.
So Brandon Hernandez is greeted by the Baycat fans for the first time. He made his debut with the team in Guelph on Tuesday night. Went 1 for 4 in that game. Got a hit in his first plate appearance, which had to feel good despite an 8-4 Baycat loss. 1-1 count to him here. And that one just missed.
Hernandez is from Montreal, Quebec. He was playing in the Frontier League a little bit last year. Right around this time last year, however, he was released by the St. Louis Cardinals organization. He was playing in Low A in Palm Beach at the time, and I had a chance to talk to him about it before the ballgame today, and he said, you know, he was called into the manager's office that day when he got released, and he had no idea what to expect. He says, you know, it's always 50-50 when you're in the minors. You never know what's going to come, and he actually thought he was going to get promoted that day.
Wow. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and he holds off, and the count is full.
But he told me that after that day, he was so distraught by the decision to get released, and he actually didn't play baseball or lift weights or anything for 3 months.
That's a called strike. Pitch just caught the inside corner.
Right fielder number 95.
And there's 2 quick outs here for the Baycats in the bottom of the first. So Noel McGarry Doyle, who in 11 games leads the Baycats with a .467 batting average.
Yeah, he's had hits in all 11 games since returning to the IBL from Mid-America Christian University, where he tore up the NAIA level at college.
And a threat on the base paths again this year. He is a perfect 8 for 8 in stolen base attempts.
Definitely deserving of the All-Star selection he got earlier this week. One of 7 Baycats to be represented in Welland next weekend.
3 of those 7 will be starters for the Baycats. Pitcher Cesar Rosado. Hayden Jaco will be the starting catcher for the North, and Kinesijo will be the starting center fielder. Foul territory, well out of play. And the count is 1-2 to Noel McGarry Doyle.
Frank Garces, also one of the selections, as well as Juan Benitez, who I think really kind of that complete game he had the other day really boosted his all-star status this year.
That was one of the most epic performances we've seen from Juan in his 4 years now here with the Barrie Baycats. Had a string of, I think it was 7 single-digit pitch total innings.
7 in a row.
7 in a
innings
row.
2 to 8.
Yeah. Going the distance. Just missed. Martinez wanted the call, didn't get it. It's 2-2.
Meanwhile, the man on deck is the 7th Baycat to be selected for the All-Star game, Malik Williams.
Two-two pitch, off speed, and it just missed away, and the count is full. I think there's still a window of opportunity for each side to add one more player. I think there's still a last-minute one addition for each team.
Yeah, there's a last vote for each All-Star team, so one player has a nominee each.
Hit weakly down the line, it'll roll foul. I know Baycat fans were maybe hoping to get Nolan Macabrota on as that final player for the North squad.
Yeah, he definitely a deserving candidate, that's for sure. He's been a fantastic piece for the Baycats, getting added earlier this offseason.
As for the Panthers, they have 3 players who will be playing on that same North team. They'll be teammates with the Baycats for a day on July 20th in Welland, and all 3 Panthers will be reserve players. Infielder Raul Gonzalez, DH outfielder Jet Jarvis, and Pedro de los Santos in his first season with the Panthers.
Kind of surprised the man on the mound wasn't selected, especially leading the IBL in strikeouts.
Double check to make sure I didn't miss that, because you're right. That to me seems like an obvious choice.
Because their last man in potentially could be Nick Parsons, the third baseman.
Meanwhile, we have a 3-2 count here, and it's hit on the ground to second base. And it's bobbled by Ross, makes the throw. It's not in time. Looked like a routine play, but he bobbled it, and it cost him.
I think they're going to score that one a hit. Definitely looked like an error for me because Spencer Ross, that bobble took him totally out of the play, and then, he got pressured completely by the speed of Noel McGarry-Doyle, who made that play much tougher than it otherwise would have been. Like you mentioned earlier, Ben, 8 for 8 on stolen base attempts this season.
So the Baycats with a chance and a man on with 2 out here as Noel McGarry-Doyle draws a throw. Martinez, no doubt well aware of the speed of Noel McGarry-Doyle. This is Malik Williams, the cleanup hitter. Off speed, and it's outside. Well, we were not mistaken. Looking at the pitchers here for the North squad, Yadian Martinez was overlooked. Frank Garces, Jacob Cush of the Royals, Takaka Iguchi of Hamilton, Hector Yan of Guelph, Pedro de los Santos, as we mentioned, with the Panthers, Juan Benitez for Barrie, Yuki Narita of Guelph, and Mizuki Akasuka of Hamilton. So that is an odd omission. Maybe he'll get that last spot as a reserve pitcher.
Well, as of right now, the last man in that could be voted on is Nick Parsons, the third baseman.
Count is 1-1.
This is for Ron. Yeah, there you go.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Malik Williams. Runner on, that's Noel McGarry-Doyle. See if he goes here on the 1-2 pitch. Has a couple of steps off the bag at first. He does not go, and the pitch is low.
Mentioned both Williams and Noel McGarry-Doyle making it as reserve players, and some might say they might not have had enough games, in the IBL this year to, have a good enough sample size. But man, they've really taken advantage of that small sample size and dominated this league so far.
On the ground to the shortstop, that's Raul Gonzalez making the throw to first in time for the out. So the Baycats strand a runner. We played an inning, and we're still scoreless. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
We go to the second inning. Frank Garces, after a 3-up, 3-down top of the first, faces Nick Parsons, Tyler Henriquez, and Junior Ibarra for the Panthers.
Talked about how good the offense has been for the Kitchener Panthers as of late, and a big reason for it is this man at the plate right now, Nick Parsons. 11-game hit streak for him coming into tonight. In his last game, the second game of the doubleheader Sunday against London was his first without an RBI in 7 games.
Pops this one up, right side, Ryan Rio will get another putout. Ryan Rio has been involved in all 4 plays defensively so far. A line drive, a pop-up, and a couple of ground balls involving Frank Garces.
Yeah, they're really keeping him on his toes over there at first base. He's playing much more first base as of late, and already more than he had last year. Only made a couple appearances on the infield last season.
Played a lot more first base earlier in his career. He was a member of the 2019 IBL champion Baycats in his rookie season. But you're right, used more as a DH in the last year or two, but standing in the lineup by getting into the ball game as a first baseman.
Well, I know that Malik Williams is still nursing a bit of a hamstring injury, so they're keeping him in the lineup at designated hitter. Usually he'd be playing, first base if he was fully healthy.
1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Frank Garces ahead of Tyler Henriquez. Tyler struggling at the plate, 167 through 5 games. Garces with a full windup and the 1-2 pitch, and he's upstairs. Count is even, 2-2.
Yeah, he's had just 21 plate appearances this year.
2-2, swing and a miss. It's brought to you by IMP North and the first of the game for Frank Garces.
Kind of using that slider to his advantage in there, the lefty-righty matchup. It looked like he had a little bit of that arm side action for Garces. That's brutal on those right-handed hitters.
First out of the ball game, not involving Ryan Rio. And here's Junior Ibarra. First pitch strike. Garces kick, steals, fouled back to the screen. 0-2. Ibarra hitting .263 coming into today's ball game. 0-2 from Garces. On the ground to second. Adam Odd makes the throw in time for the out. Back-to-back 3-up, 3-down innings for Frank Garces and the Baycats as we played an inning and a half, still scoreless at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Still scoreless between the Panthers and Baycats in this second inning of play is brought to you by JC Unlimited Contracting. Design, supply, build, renovate, servicing Simcoe region for over a decade.
Ben Davy with Julius Hern, Brian Backland, and our entire Baycats TV crew on this first game of the second half of the 2024 season for the Baycats. Game number 22 of a 42-game schedule. Baycats and Panthers for the second time this season. Rookie Nolan Macabrota hits a roller to second. Spencer Ross with a one-hopper, and it's gloved by Nolan Misa for the out.
A little bit of a short throw there from Spencer Ross. A great pick out of the dirt there from Nolan Misa, kept that play alive. Again, Nolan Macabrota was hustling hard out of the box, made that play harder than maybe it should have been.
Fan favorite Ryan Rio, first baseman tonight, hitting 179, still looking to get things on track here in the 2024 season. Takes the first pitch inside.
He's hit 300 in every IBL season since 2017.
Well, he's notorious for a strong second half, and that's what they need from him here this season. And he's ahead in the count here, 2-0. Red hot in the playoffs last year. Set the franchise single season record for runs batted in. An outstanding season, but it's been frustrating for him here so far this year. And I have to think it's just a matter of time before he finds his groove.
I think he's chasing a lot of outside pitches that he usually wouldn't chase last year. Last year, a lot of his power was coming from the inner part of the plate. This year, he's really looking for outside pitches more, and he's whiffing on them.
It's a 3-1 count. Yadier Martinez from the stretch kicks and deals. Ball 4. Second base runner of the game for the Barrie Baycats. And now it's Hayden Jaco to the plate.
Third baseman number 55, Hayden Jaco.
Well, kind of the contrast in the lineup from a guy like Ryan Rio has been struggling this year, but this guy, Hayden Jaco, had a little bit of a slow start last year when he joined the Baycats. He was nursing a little bit of a leg injury, but man, he's really taken advantage of being healthy this year and has been on a tear. Third in the IBL as of right now in batting average, leading the league in on-base percentage.
First pitch breaking ball, and it's a called strike as Jaco's taking all the way. Career numbers for Hayden, and that's saying something when you look at his IBL career body of work. A 362 average. Second only to Noel McGarry-Doyle, who's played 5 fewer games. This is a grounder to the shortstop, Raul Gonzalez, to second and on to first for a double play. Close at first. But the throw from Spencer Ross beat him, and that'll do it for Barrie in the bottom of the second inning. We're still scoreless here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original 2 men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. 2 small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. The proud home of the Baycats Brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room, and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers, and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
To the third inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Kitchener Panthers, Barrie Baycats scoreless. Frank Garces will face the bottom third of the Kitchener batting order. Nolan Misa, the number 7 hitter, will lead it off. And the first pitch misses. Now we have a golf foursomes draw that we're doing tonight. And we'll be announcing a different winner every inning for the next, I believe, 5 innings. And our first winner of the night is Chris Willens. Chris Willens, congratulations. You're our first winner of the Baycats foursome raffle. Somebody will be in touch with you if you're at home watching tonight. One ball, 2 strikes. Garces to Misa. And he fouls it away behind us. Count holds 1-2.
Ben, do you golf very often?
Yeah, I've golfed a couple of times, and it hasn't gone well. I know you do a lot of golf.
Yeah, I do.
Well, you're at golf courses a lot.
I
That's-
am.
Yeah, it's
Very
kinda one of
true.
your other gigs, so.
I follow the PGA, LPGA, Live Tours quite a
Yeah.
bit too, and we're coming into the Olympics in a couple weeks, so I'll definitely be tuned in for that.
You're a fan of both Live and PGA?
I am.
That's been kind of the big ongoing story, how those two have kind of coexisted in the golf universe.
The Live Golf league is really fun to watch because there's always players shooting at the same time because it's a shotgun start. So there's never a lull in the action.
I have trouble watching golf, I'll be honest with you. It's find it very difficult to watch on TV. Although I love Jim Nantz. I got to tell you,
He's the man.
I could listen to him narrate anything. Outside, and the count is now 3-2. Panthers looking for their first base runner off Frank Garces. The crowd at Vintage Throne Stadium wants to see strike three. Here's Garces with the payoff pitch, and it's popped up and playable on the infield. Off of the mask, Tyler Plumpton, and he can't make the catch. Looked like maybe something got in his eye in the last second there as that ball just dropped right in front of him.
Yeah, he went for more of the basket style catch because he was in a little bit of desperation mode there. I'm not sure if it wasn't a real high pop up. It looked like it kind of caught him off guard how fast it was descending.
The good news is it's a foul ball. So another chance for Frank Garces here. 3-2. Let's see if he can pick up his catcher with a strike three here. He deals, and it's a little flare to right field. It'll drop in front of Noel McGarry-Doyle. So the Panthers get their first base runner.
The third inning of play is presented by
Base hit for Nolan Misa.
the #1 architectural 3D
And Misa really taking advantage of that new life he got from that little misplay there from Tyler Plumpton. Not scored an error, but if you're Frank Garces, not what you want to see to start the inning.
So one hit for each side. And a lefty-lefty matchup here with Frank Garces facing Ryan Burnside, the number 8 hitter and DH. First pitch strike to start him off.
Even with the lefty on the mound, Garces, Misa's getting out to a pretty decent lead over there at first base. He hasn't had a stolen base attempt yet this year.
Swing and a miss, strike two. Middle infield will be ready for the ground ball. It's Brandon Hernandez at short and Adam Ott at second. Panthers got a double play to end the bottom half of the previous inning. Number 9 hitter Spencer Voisin is on deck. Burnside comes in with a 188 average. Here's the pitch to him, and he fouls it back to the screen. Beautiful night here at the ballpark. A 24-degree game time temperature. Felt like 30 with the Humidex, though. It's been a muggy afternoon. Nice night for baseball, though, coming off all that rain we had a day ago. And a little flare to left field. It'll hang up long enough for a sliding Nolan Macabrota to make a catch.
Fantastic catch there from Nolan Macabrota. It looked like he caught the ball right away off the bat and was dead set on making a play on it. He knew exactly where he was going with it, and great sliding effort and a huge first out of the inning there for Frank Garces.
So that'll set up the defense for a potential inning-ending double play if they can get a ground ball off the bat of Spencer Voisin here, the number 9 hitter, and this may be it. Hernandez to second, and a good hard slide. The throw over is not in time. Give Nolan Misa full marks for that slide. Coming in hard on Adam Ott.
Yeah, you saw a little bit of hesitation there from Adam Ott. Not sure if that was just because of the angle that Hernandez had to charge in and get that ball and make the throw kind of behind him to second base. The first base umpire, that's Ryan Hern down there at first, didn't signal this, but looked like Ryan Rio's foot might have kind of stretched off the bag a little bit, making the stretch to catch the ball.
So Misa retired 6'4". It's a fielder's choice for Voisin, and we're back to the top of the order now for Blake Jacklin. He shows bunt. Garces elects to leave it for the third baseman. Jaco tried to barehand it, but even if he did, there was no way he was going to get anybody. That was just a perfectly placed bunt by Jacklin to keep the inning alive. So Voisin to second, Jacklin aboard.
Bold move there with 2 outs to put down a bunt, but if there's anyone that knows how to do it, it's Blake Jacklin, and with the speed he has, he was easily going to make it over to first with a perfectly placed bunt.
Jacklin with 9 stolen bases, but he has nowhere to go here with a runner in front of him. Garces will face Spencer Ross now. First jam of the game for the Dominican left-hander, as he'll work with 2 on and 2 out here in the third inning.
And Ross has been one of the most consistent hitters for the Panthers this year, coming .364 batting average through 17 games.
Pitch misses outside, 1-1. Garces checks the runner, kicks, deals, and it's lifted over second base and off the glove of Adam Ott into right field. They'll hold the runner. Voisin to third, Jacklin to second. Another weakly hit ball by the Panthers, but it loads the bases. And this is a dangerous man at the plate in this situation. Shortstop Raul Gonzalez.
Looked like Adam Ott had eyes on that ball right away as it kind of got lofted in the air his way, and I don't think he had a real shot at it, but had to go back on it just off his glove in the right field. Luckily that, Noel McGarry-Doyle was charging in from right field and was able to cut that ball off rather quickly to prevent a run from scoring.
So a big test for the Baycats here on left-hander Frank Garces, as Raul Gonzalez has been a Baycat killer historically. Last year had some really big games against Barrie, especially here at this park, as the Panthers look to get on the board first here in the third inning. Pitch from Garces on the way, and it's hit to center field. Canisijo with a long way to go, but the ball hangs up long enough for him to make a running catch. That will do it for the Panthers as they leave the bases loaded here in the top of the third inning, and Frank Garces dodges a huge bullet. We played 2.5 innings, and it is the Baycats and the Panthers scoreless here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV, Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Still scoreless between the Kitchener Panthers and Barrie Baycats. This third inning of play is brought to you by Render 3D Quick, the #1 architectural 3D rendering company in Canada, working with thousands of builders, developers, architects, and more.
Luke Hazelwood is our second Golf Foursomes Baycat raffle winner of the night. So Chris Willens and Luke Hazelwood. If you're watching the broadcast tonight, we'll be in touch with you to give you details on your prize. Congratulations. Be enjoying some golf real soon with the Baycats. Adam Ott at the plate for Barrie. He's ahead in the count 2-0.
Similar to Ryan Rio, Adam Ott kind of struggled after a first-team All-Star season in 2023.
And it's to the second baseman, Spencer Ross, and past him into center field.
Well, I was just about to say, Adam Ott, he hits the ball so hard, but so often it's right at the defenders, and there he just went under the glove of Spencer Ross trying to make a sliding attempt at it, but nonetheless, that's going to be a big confidence booster for Adam Ott at base hit to start the inning.
Yeah, Ott has improved the last few games. He did manage a home run on the road last week, and if you were to say at the start of the season, the Baycats are going to have 7 All-Star nominees, and Ryan Rio and Adam Ott would not be among them. That would definitely be a surprise.
Yeah, I wouldn't have had that on my bingo card to start the year, that's for sure.
Definitely a welcome surprise in the sense that it just tells you how good the rest of this lineup has been, despite those two really being a little bit off pace as far as their own production standards would be concerned.
Well, and you mentioned it earlier, too, about Ryan Rio, how, notoriously he can get hot in the second half, and I would imagine Adam Ott is looking to get on that same trajectory. There's still, like you mentioned, this is the first game of the second half of the season, so there's still plenty of ball left in this IBL season.
And this one's hit hard and into right field. That'll move Ott to second base. So the bottom of the order coming through with back-to-back base hits off Yadi and Martinez.
Couldn't have asked for a better strategy there from Tyler Plumpton, going right the other way with it, kind of just between the first baseman, Nolan Misa, and second baseman Spencer Ross. And Misa was playing in on the grass at first base, even though Adam Ott was, kind of being held on a little bit, but Misa was still playing shallow and didn't have much of a play on that when it was hit so hard.
Got a junior Baycat in the PA booth here for our third inning, and lots of young ball players join the game here tonight. I see the Aurelia Royals are here, just a couple of rows away from us. Weekly hit to third. Parsons has no play, and the bases are loaded with nobody out. So Odd, Plumpton, and Ejo all aboard, and here's Brandon Hernandez, the rookie.
Well, just like we saw from Blake Jacklin in the last half inning, Kenise Ejo kind of rolling with the same strategy, even though with nobody out. And with his speed, he was easily going to make to first base on that, perfectly placed bunt. Nick Parsons, even if he came up with that ball cleanly, wasn't going to have a play at first base.
So Brandon Hernandez, his home debut, struck out in his first plate appearance, but a chance to endear himself to these Barrie fans with one big swing. He's taking all the way, and it's a called strike.
Couldn't have asked for a better opportunity for that. Bases loaded, nobody out. Looking for a little bit of revenge after striking out looking in the first.
Count 1-1. I have to think the Aurelia Royals picked a good opponent to come see the Baycats play. It's not Guelph. That would be a little bit disheartening, seeing them wearing their Royals uniforms.
Well, and Guelph's here in a couple weeks for our Pack the Park Day. That's going to be even more exciting for them.
Royals beat the Baycats 8-4 on Tuesday. Well, defensive swing there by Hernandez. 1-2 the count.
Sunday's game in Guelph was, it was closer than it maybe felt. Because Jacob Cush was dealing in his 6 innings of work. Cesar Rosado got a little bit shaken up in the first few innings, but kept his composure through his outing. And then just kind of the Royals offense just came alive in the late innings to seal that win.
Yeah, you're right. That game was Sunday. I misspoke and said Tuesday. Tuesday's a common night for games in Guelph as well. Felt like a Tuesday to me because I took the next day off, so didn't. Sunday night baseball, though, that's a good turnout in Guelph for that game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy it?
Loved it. Loved it. And a good contingent of Baycats fans there as well, which was nice to see on the first base side. Making lots of noise, lots of family.
Seems like dueling fan bases at the ballpark in Guelph, which is really fun to see.
I got to know Kenise Ejo's family. I got to know Noel McGarry Doyle's family. A couple of significant others were there of players. So Roy Sando, Zachary Orchard were represented with supporters. So that was good to see. Nice to get to know the people behind these players who are supporting them and encouraging them all season long.
Absolutely. It's always good to have that, support system, because it does take a lot out of these players. Yes, it's not, you're not playing every day, but still, 4 times a week. Especially when you get into the dog days as we are now towards the end of the season.
3-2 pitch. And it's hit high to the left side. Wazin calls for it, makes the catch, runner tags. This is Adam Odd. He's in without a throw. Barrie's on top, 1-0 on a sacrifice fly by Brandon Hernandez.
Well, Adam Odd runs really well, and I was skeptical about how shallow that ball was in left field, but as soon as I saw the throw come in towards third base, you knew Adam Odd was scoring no problem, and just like that, Brandon Hernandez already endearing himself to the Baycats fans with a sacrifice fly there.
Noel McGarry-Doyle got Barrie's first hit of the ball game. It was a ball that went off the glove of Spencer Ross. He beat it out. Barrie unable to score that inning. And they get one here in the bottom of the third to lead 1-0. So Plumpton at second, Ejo at first. Martinez checks the runner at second twice and deals. Gary Doyle hits it weakly to center field. The shortstop, Raul Gonzalez, near the outfield grass, makes the catch. So a little pop-up off the bat of Noel McGarry-Doyle, and it creates a 2-out situation for Malik Williams.
Malik Williams has had a couple games without a hit, which is kind of unlike him as a Baycat, but I'm sure he's ready to get back on track.
Back with Barrie after a short Frontier League stint. This is his 12th game, and he's got the average at .314. A run, 4 hits for the Baycats, no runs, 3 hits for Kitchener. We're in the third.
Spencer Ross kind of shading Williams opposite field and trying to hold on Plumpton.
Williams drives it to left field for a base hit. And they're going to send the runner. This is Tyler Plumpton. Here's the throw, and it's offline. The throw to third, and he's in at third base. So Plumpton scores. Ejo to third. Driving in the run is Malik Williams. 2-0 Baycats.
Gutsy call there from third base coach Andrew White, sending Plumpton around third, and he knew as soon as that ball was hit by Williams, it was getting down for a base hit, and that decision paid off for him. And even more ballsy is Kenise Ejo going first to third on a ball hit to left field, anticipating that throw was going to go home, and it was cut off on the third base line, and another ballsy decision by Ejo pays off.
Ejo's decision to go surprised me more than Plumpton's, as you mentioned, because the last thing you want to do is be the final out of the inning at third base. The throw to home to try to get Plumpton was well offline, but it was a very good throw by Ibarra to try to nab Ejo at third. Ejo got in underneath the tag. So the inning continues for Nolan Macabrota. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
And then there's 2 outs, but I wonder if he's going to get the green light here.
Malik Williams at first, nursing an injury, an unlikely threat to steal in this situation. And it's a called strike, 3-1 as Macabrota's taking all the way. This inning started with 3 straight singles, and it started with the bottom of the order. Adam Odd, Tyler Plumpton, and Kenise Ejo. Brandon Hernandez drove in the game's first run with a sac fly. Malik Williams drove in the second run with a base hit to left field. Baycats looking for more. The 2 out, the pitch, and it's on the ground and through into right field. Ejo scores easily. 2 on for the Baycats. It's an RBI for Nolan Macabrota.
The rally continues for the Baycats, and as a pitcher, Yadier Martinez must be exhausted because all these base hits keep the play alive, doesn't have a chance to rest. And even more pressure with runners still on behind him.
Faced just 7 batters through his first 2 innings. He's faced 7 in this 3rd inning alone. And now Ryan Rio with a chance to come through and add to a 3-0 Baycat lead. First offering from Martinez, and it's inside. Backs him off the plate. Absolutely love the energy at the ballpark here tonight. These fans loving this 3-0 Barrie lead. Another nice night here at the ballpark. Winds are calm, skies are clear. Can't ask for much more than that.
Just especially in contrast to all the sogginess we got yesterday.
Yeah, they made a good decision to cancel the game actually the day before, seeing the weather system that was coming in. It was pretty obvious we wouldn't be playing baseball, so everybody could reschedule accordingly.
And that game's going to get made up the 24th of July. It's a Wednesday night again, 7:35 first pitch.
Yeah, we've had a couple of these Wednesday, Thursday back-to-back situations here at Vintage Strone Stadium this season.
It's funny because that game that would have been played last night against Hamilton was a game that was already rescheduled from a rainout.
It's the second time now that they've rescheduled that, so. Three and 0 to Ryan Rio. Let's see if he's taking here. Hayden Jaco on deck, and it's ball 4. Rio has walked twice tonight. And that one will keep the inning alive for the hot-hitting Hayden Jaco.
Well, it's now the second time in the inning that Yadier Martinez is going to have the bases loaded behind him, and it's going to get a mound visit here from pitching coach and translator.
In for a chat, too, was the shortstop, Raul Gonzalez, and he'll turn around and go back now that he sees another conversation about to happen.
Well, Gonzalez and Martinez are both from Cuba, so I believe Gonzalez is just there to translate, make sure there's no miscommunication.
Chubave, the home plate umpire, out to monitor the conversation, and everything has been said. Hayden Jaco, the 9th Baycat, to bat here in the 3rd inning. Jaco hit into an inning-ending double play to end the 2nd. Brings a .340 average up to the dish, however. Former IBL Rookie of the Year. An IBL championship winner with the London Majors. And he hits it on the ground to the first baseman. And they relay it to the pitcher in time for the out. So Jaco is retired. 3-1. And the Baycats bat around. They score 3 through 3 here at Vintage Strone Stadium. Baycats 3, Panthers no score. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from Hern and Barrie Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Top of the fourth inning we go at Vintage Throne Stadium. Baycats on top of Kitchener by a score of 3-0. And Frank Garces will face the middle part of the order. Nick Parsons, Tyler Henriquez, and Junior Ibarra.
The local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal in rental and junk removal services.
Last time the Panthers were up, they left the bases loaded, and they're coming up after the Baycats left the bases loaded, but at least the Baycats, on their part, got 3 runs across.
Garces got a fly ball off the bat of Raul Gonzalez to leave the bases loaded and escape damage in the third inning. Parsons today is 0 for 1. And it's a called strike.
Parsons on an 11-game hit streak. It's been arguably the best hitter in Kitchener's lineup this season.
Baycats are on the road this weekend, but so we won't have any coverage on Baycats TV for you, but it'll be a busy weekend for both of us. And I hear that you're going to be working a broadcast in Kitchener on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll be working with Mark Perry on Sunday afternoon at Jack Couch Park.
To short, Hernandez, long throw. It's in time for the out.
That's going to be fun. I've never worked with Mark before. I've never even been to Jack Couch Park before, so it's going to be a whole brand new experience, but I'm super excited for it.
Road games are so much fun.
Absolutely.
Love any chance that you get to be around the team and also meet visiting fans from around the IBL, and they always, usually want to stop and chat with you as well. And so you're ticking the boxes here of all the IBL ballparks, and how many will be left for you after the...
Just London and Chatham.
Okay, yeah. Baycats, of course, have only played in Chatham once, so... for me, it's Hamilton's the only ballpark I haven't been to. I don't know how... I just missed Hamilton now.
Hamilton was the first road park I'd been to.
Very interesting. I've seen Hamilton Tiger Cat games in Hamilton. I've seen Hamilton Bulldogs games. I have not seen a Hamilton Cardinals game there.
Interesting. So. Toronto Rock playing Hamilton, too.
I've seen the Toronto Rock in Hamilton.
Ooh.
I think I saw Garden Brothers Circus in Hamilton when I was a kid. That was a scary one off the top of the Baycat dugout. Baycats have one of the safer dugouts in the IBL. It's got the padded rails around the dugout. I saw the dugouts in Guelph, and
open.
Boy, those ones you really have to be careful in.
Brantford's like that too.
They're ground level, and they also have the beams in the middle of the dugout as well. So a ball could glance off of that and go any direction possible.
Yeah, Brantford has that too, with the open style, ground level.
Popped up, shallow. Second baseman Adam Odd on the grass, makes the catch. 2 down. So you're going to be in Kitchener. I'm going to be in Detroit watching the Tigers play Shohei Ohtani and the LA Dodgers, and it'll be my first time seeing Shohei in person.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I never saw the Angels play the Blue Jays here. So
I did once. It was Shohei versus Alek Manoah, 2022.
Wow.
And it was the same day they did the 30th anniversary of the 1992 Blue Jays World Series team, like big pregame ceremony. The place was sold out. Like most packed I think I've ever seen the Rogers Center in person or on TV.
Well, it was hard to get these tickets. It wasn't sold out when we got them, but they were going really quick. And I think that's going to be a packed house at Comerica Park.
Is it be your first time there?
No, I've gone to a lot of games in Detroit, and actually Comerica is one of my favorite ballparks.
Really?
It's definitely top 5.
It looks pretty sweet just from like, watching it, seeing it on TV, seeing photographs. Right next to Ford Field.
It'll be my first time seeing Ohtani, and actually my first time seeing the Dodgers. That's another weird thing.
I've seen the Dodgers too.
That's one team that I haven't seen. So I've seen all the American League teams, and I think most of the National League teams except the Dodgers for some reason.
I saw the Dodgers in 2014. It was Hyunjin Ryu's rookie season in the majors.
Swing and a miss. It's brought to you by IMP North, and it gets Frank Garces and the Baycats off the field in the top of the 4th inning. Play 3.5. It's still 3-0 Barrie. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. The Baycats still lead the Kitchener Panthers by a score of 3-2. This fourth inning of play brought to you by Clarkson Bins and Junk Removal, the local source for simple, clean, and reliable disposal bin rental and junk removal services.
We've got another winner in our foursomes golf raffle. It is Kurt Vanderberg. Kurt Vanderberg, if you're watching or listening tonight, we'll be in touch with you with details on how to claim your prize. So the three winners so far, Chris Willens, Luke Hazelwood, and now Kurt Vanderberg, and I believe we have two more to announce before the end of the game tonight. First pitch swinging, and it's a roller to the second baseman. Over to first, and Odd is retired.
Well, the last time Adam Odd was up, he led off the third inning, but he hit the ball basically the same spot. Spencer Ross wasn't able to come up with it then. Makes an easier play there for the first out.
Yeah, Odd leading off the third and the fourth. Baycats batted around in the third, in case you missed it. It started with three straight singles, Odd, Plumpton, and Ejo. And Yadi and Martinez will face those same three here in the fourth inning. Odd retired, and now catcher Tyler Plumpton to the plate. One ball and one strike.
First time Plumpton's hit out of the 9 spot in the order this season. Usually see him around 6 or 7, maybe even 8, but first time he's been the one to turn the lineup around.
And it's through, just off the shortstop in a shallow left field. Second base hit of the game for Tyler Plumpton.
Well, maybe the 9 spot's working for him. Already 2 for 2 in this one, and he scored in the third inning when he got on, and turns the lineup over to Kenise Ejo, all-star starter next weekend in Welland.
Well, that's the interesting thing with Josh Matlow's lineups is sometimes there's no obvious reason why you would see a guy in the bottom part of the order, and Hayden Jaco's hitting 7th tonight, and he's one of the hottest hitters. So, a lot of times he likes to move those pieces around and doesn't always stack the hottest hitters at the top.
Just goes to show how deep the roster is offensively. You have guys like Hayden Jaco hitting 7th, Adam Odd, a first-team all-star last year, hitting 8th. And Tyler Plumpton, who's kind of had a resurgent offensive season hitting in your 9 spot. That's pretty impressive.
Runner aboard. And they appeal at first. He did not go. Kenise Ejo with a 1-1 count.
The only downfall to having Plumpton in the number 9 spot, the last couple games they've had Ricky Phillips in that spot, and he gets on and Ejo gets on. You like to work on a double steal.
Fly ball to left field. Voisin going back and near the fence. He can't come up with it. That's a home run. Voisin reached up, but it was out of his reach and over the left field wall. A 2-run blast. Kenise Ejo, 5-0 Baycats.
Second home run for the season for Kenise Ejo. It looked like it just kept carrying out to left field. Voisin had no shot at it. He just kept drifting further back, and just like that, it's 5-0 Baycats.
Straightaway left field. No wind really here tonight. It was blowing from right to left a little earlier, but flags are pretty quiet on that right field scoreboard right now. Kenise Ejo gets his 3rd home run of the season. That ties him with Hayden Jaco and Nolan Macabrota. Brandon Hernandez now. Drove in a run with a deep fly ball in the third inning. And he goes down. 2 away.
The right fielder, number 95, Noel McGarry-Doyle.
This is Noel McGarry-Doyle. Third plate appearance already tonight for him.
He's already extended his hit streak this year to 12 with that hit in the first inning.
So the walk-up song for McGarry-Doyle was Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. And I'm trying to recall, is that his walk-up song, or were we just playing that tonight because it's country
I think
night?
everybody on the team has different walk-up songs just for country night.
Just for this evening, okay. Tyler Plumpton kept his usual song, which was a country song anyways, in my opinion. Kind of pop country.
Yeah.
This one is second base. Spencer Ross makes the throw in time, but not before Kadesijo hits a 2-run blast to left field to extend Barrie's lead to 5 through 4. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May.
Five 5-0 Baycats as we enter the top of the 5th inning. Julius Hern along with Ben Davy and our Baycats TV crew. It'll be the bottom third of the order for the Panthers, due up against Frank Garces, and it'll be Nolan Misa to start us off. Frank Garces, 3 of his 4 innings of work have been 1-2-3. He left the bases loaded in the 3rd inning, but still scoreless are the Panthers as that first pitch is in there for strike 1. Popped up, out of play, foul on the right side.
And it's been a real up and down year for the Panthers. They were mired in last place for about the first month of the season, losing 4 in a row to start the year, and then won just 2 of their first 11 games. Went from cold to hot in a hurry, though. 5-game winning streak coming into this one here tonight, which they bring to Barrie. Double-digit run totals in 3 of those 5 games, and looking to keep that going here tonight. Frank Garces has shut them down thus far.
They brought themselves up to 6 in the standings. A foul tip into the glove of Tyler Plumpton. Strikeout brought to you by IMP North, route number 1.
Designated hitter number 55, Ryan Burnside.
Just the 3rd K of the game for Frank Garces. I'll bring up Ryan Burnside.
So the fans are 2 away from their free French fries here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Unfortunately, we can't deliver those to go for our TV viewers. Got to be at the ballpark to redeem it. Yeah, the Baycats have been basically the exact opposite of Kitchener. Kitchener's been a streaky team all season.
On the ground, short in the infield. Charging is Ryan Rio. He can't come up with it cleanly. And that'll be an infield hit for Ryan Burnside.
The fifth inning of play is
Tough play right in between
aluminum and science
where Frank
quality
Garces and Ryan
of
Rio had a
all
chance at that one. And
parts.
even if Rio was able to come up with it cleanly, I'm sure Burnside would have been able to run that one out. Garces, not a great path over to first base covering.
Yeah, ruled an infield hit by our official scorer, Gary Mason. 4th hit of the game for the Panthers. Yeah, I was just saying how Kitchener's been a streaky team. Baycats haven't won or lost more than 3 in a row all season. They've been very steady.
Kitchener, that 5-game win streak has brought them up to 6th in the IBL, leaving Toronto and Kitchener and Brantford battling to stay out of that number 9 spot. As we know, with the new expansion, 9 teams now in the IBL, that last place team will not make the playoffs.
And if the season were to end tonight, it would be the Toronto Maple Leafs. So they're off to an uncharacteristically slow start this season. Should be a good race at the bottom of the standings. I mean, it gives the fans a couple of things to keep an eye on. Of course, you're watching the top to see who wins the IBL pennant. That doesn't really mean much, though, because everybody, the top 8 teams are all going to advance one way or another. I think the more interesting race is going to be at the bottom.
Foul off for strike 2. That's definitely going to be a storyline to watch as we get into the month of August for sure. Toronto sitting at 7-18. 2 games back of Brantford and Chatham-Kent, who sit 8-15 each. Called strike 3. Frank Garces cashes in another strikeout, his 4th of the game. There's 2 down.
Center fielder number 45, Blake Jacklin.
So they'll bring it back around to the top of the order for Kitchener. It's Blake Jacklin. It's 1 for 2 so far. That one hit was a bunt base hit in the 3rd inning. Was eventually stranded at second base. First pitch is called for strike.
Well, the Panthers had such a good year last season. They were right there with that cluster at the top of the standings in 2023, and I'm really surprised a lot of fans around the league that they were slow going this year, but looking to get some traction now as they hit their second half of the season.
On the ground to third, Jaco can't come up with it cleanly, and there's going to be no play. Off his glove and off his chest, and couldn't quite corral the bobble.
Second baseman.
That's going to be the first error of the game for the Baycats, and the inning continues for the Panthers.
Yeah, ball looked like it might have hit off the heel of Jaco's glove. He tried to recover, unable to do so, and by the time he was able to get a handle on that ball, no chance to get the speedy Blake Jacklin.
4th error of the season for Hayden Jaco. All of those at third base. Doesn't have one behind the dish yet this year. So 2 on for Spencer Ross, who's also 1 for 2. Second on the Panthers in batting average. First pitch inside.
Third base has been a tough position for a lot of guys this year. We mentioned Noah Hall had a game where he really struggled there at third, and you mentioned all of Jaco's errors were at third base. I didn't even realize that little stat, but
On the ground, foul towards Panther dugout.
not an easy position to play, and you know, Baycats really haven't had a regular everyday player in that position. It's kind of been a rotational thing this season with a lot of guys in and out of that spot on the hot corner.
Yeah, and they don't call it the hot corner for nothing. Seems like whenever Plumpton gets the start at catcher for the Baycats, it's usually Hayden Jaco at third. That one's up and away, 2-1.
This is the departure of Victor Plaz. I guess he was kind of the last everyday player that the Baycats had there.
Well, even Victor Plaz struggled defensively with the Baycats last year and this year with the London Majors. 7 errors this year.
Good point.
That one foul tipped through the legs of Plumpton, 2-2.
Looks like that might have caught a piece of Chubave. He's just going to take a second or two here just to regain his balance, and that might have caught just part of the inside of his foot, I think.
So 2-2 as the fans get into this pitch from Garces. 1 pitch away from ending this top of the 5th inning. Here it is. On the ground to the right right side. Adamant had to run over a tough bounce. It goes off him and into right field. The runner is held up at third. Ryan Burnside took a pretty wide turn rounding third base, but he's held up, and the bases will be loaded again. I'll bring up Raul Gonzalez again with the bases loaded.
It was the second bounce that took kind of a weird skip on Adamant at second base, and that ball just jumped a little bit higher than he expected. I'm not sure if that glanced off the lip of the grass, but there was something that made that ball jump just a little bit. And Odd tried to adjust, but not quite enough. Keeps the inning alive, and it'll be ruled a hit.
Tough break there for Adamant at second base, and this inning has kind of turned into exactly what the third inning has become. Nolan Misa led off both innings, and now with the bases loaded and 2 out, it's Raul Gonzalez.
Second bases loaded situation for Frank Garces tonight. He got a fly ball off the bat of Gonzalez to end the third.
First pitch just high. Frank Garces coming in today leads the IBL in first pitch strike percentage. 74% of his at-bats, he got a first pitch strike. Another one, same spot, 2-0.
And you're right, a lot of similarities between this fifth
of play. 2-1.
Well, this has turned out to a fielding practice for the kids from the Aurelia Royals and any other players that are down there from other teams. I see a lot of Royals here tonight chasing down those balls.
2-1 is high again. It's a 3-1 count for Raul Gonzalez, and a walk here will give Kitchener their first run. Uncharacteristic of Garces to get this deep in the hitter's favor in a count. But here we are, a 3-1 pitch coming. Popped up, and it's going to get out of play over the screen our way and over our heads.
Off the roof, probably directly above our producer Brian Backland, not far.
Well, you imagine the kids right back after it out front of the stadium. Fans behind Frank Garces, a full count, 2 out. Bases loaded for Raul Gonzalez. Here's the delivery and the pitch. Flown into left field, Noah Macabrota settles under it, backs up a couple steps and makes the catch. For the second time this evening, Frank Garces gets Gonzalez to fly out with the bases loaded to end the inning. Still 5-0 Baycats as we head to the bottom half of the fifth inning. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
At Domino's, mix and match any 2 or more pizzas and sides for just $8.99 each. Like when pizza night's more like pizza and lava cakes night, or pasta and stuffed cheesy bread night, or we're gonna need a bigger table night. Mix and match Canada's favorite pizza and more at Domino's.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
Bottom of the fifth inning is brought to you by Phatrum, aluminum siding, quality above all else.
Malik Williams will lead off the bottom of the fifth inning for the Baycats, and his first swing is launched out to left field, a foul. Baycats still up 5-0. Frank Garces stranded the bases loaded in both the third and fifth innings. 0-1 from Yadian Martinez is outside, 1-1. Williams 1 for 2 this evening, but that one hit was an RBI single in the third, part of a 3-run third inning. Baycats tacked on 2 more in the fourth on a Kinesijo 2-run bomb. Another pitch low, 3-1.
Started late tonight, so if you're wondering why we're only in the 5th inning, it was a 7:58 first pitch as the visiting team was late arriving due to traffic, but the game's actually had a pretty good tempo to it.
On the ground on the right side, diving is Spencer Ross. He comes up with it. A throw on to first is in time. A fantastic defensive play from Spencer Ross for out number 1.
Left fielder number 20, Nolan McIbroda.
As Macabroda comes to the plate, this game's been moving along at a pretty good pace despite the Baycats scoring 5 runs and Kitchener loading the bases twice. Unable to score as of yet, but both teams swinging early in the counts here.
Well, there's another swing early on. Right at Spencer Ross. He gets in front of it, blocks it, and has enough time to get Macabroda at first. 2 down.
Ross has been on his toes this inning. 2 ground balls quickly.
The first baseman, number 27, Ryan Rio.
Spencer Ross has already had 6 assists defensively through the first 4 2/3 innings of this ball game.
We mentioned Yadier Martinez leading the IBL in strikeouts. That's really his go-to. He's got 3 of them so far today. He's getting a lot of ground balls. Last 3 in a row have all been on the ground, and they've all been to Spencer Ross.
1-0 pitch to Ryan Rio was a big hack, and he misses on it. 1-1. Martinez working quickly. Here it is. Hard hit to shortstop. Raul Gonzalez scoops it up, and the throw into first is in plenty of time. Drops the ball, but the out call still stands as a 1-2-3 inning for Yadier Martinez here in the 5th inning. We head to the 6th, still 5-0 Baycats on Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. We're in the top of the 6th inning. The Baycats still lead it by a score of 5-0. We have our 4th Golf Foursomes Raffle winner of the evening. 4th of 5 giveaways we're having this evening. Vanessa Cancelli is our 4th Golf Foursome Raffle winner. I'm sure the squad will be in contact with you about how you can claim your prize. Frank Garces out to work his 6th inning. First pitch to Nick Parsons is outside for ball one.
Well, we mentioned this is the mathematical start of the second half of the season for the Baycats.
On the ground, diving Jaco can't come up with it. It's off him and into shallow left field. Tough play for him, but the first base runner reaches for Kitchener.
Right fielder, number 10.
A great dive by Jaco, but no margin for error laying all out like that, and the ball just skipped off his glove. So hard hit ball, and it's a hit for Parsons to lead off the sixth inning. Baycats 13-8 through their first 21 games, so 5 games over 500 as they start their second half tonight. And they've beaten every team in the IBL except Welland. And Welland they've only faced once, which is kind of a scheduling oddity, but they lost to them 6-4. And they play Welland 4 times in the second half.
Yeah, and Barrie's next opponent is Welland on Saturday. Should be an exciting one at Welland Stadium. Welland has not been at Vintage Throne Stadium yet. There will be in a couple weeks. That's going to be really exciting. First day after the All-Star game, the Jackfish will be here.
Yeah, their champagne celebration was on this field in September last year, beating the Barrie Baycats in 6 games to win the IBL Championship Series. So Barrie, I'm sure, chomping at the bit to get back at the defending champs and prevail with a win at some point this season.
That one's popped out of play foul. It's 1-2 here on Tyler Henriquez.
Kitchener has beaten every team in the IBL at least once, except Welland and this team, the Barrie Baycats. Baycats won the only matchup so far between them here at Vintage Throne Stadium. That game on Sunday that you'll be at will be Barrie's first trip to Jack Couch Park this year.
Yeah, should be an exciting one. All the momentum's going to carry over from this game, I'm sure. There's a fly ball out to right center field. Kenise Ejo and Noel McGarry-Doyle converging on it. It'll be Noel McGarry-Doyle making the catch for the first out of the inning.
The catcher, number 48.
I'd be remiss to not mention that base hit to lead off the inning for Nick Parsons. That extends his hit streak to 12 games. He's been on an absolute tear, especially over this 5-game win streak the Panthers have been on lately. Here's Junior Ibarra facing Frank Garces for the 3rd time. That one's popped up, playable on the infield, and it's going to be Brendan Hernandez calling off his fellow infielders and making the catch for out number 2. Couple quick outs there after the leadoff base hit for Garces, and I'll bring up Nolan Misa, who's 1 for 2. First pitch of breaking ball is just low for ball 1.
Well, it's Country Night presented by Ranch 2.0 and a really great crowd here at Vintage Throne Stadium. And some of them wearing the flannel coats as I did tonight. I thought about maybe going with the cutoff sleeves like I saw a few people. Then I remembered the mosquitoes. I thought that's not going to be a good idea.
Well, they love you. There's a ground ball. Playable for Garces. He barehands it, flips over to first. Great effort from Garces, and he gets out of the inning unscathed. We head to the 6th inning. Pardon me, we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's still 5-0 Baycats. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's brought to you by Two Small Men with Big Hearts Moving, making moving stress-free for over 35 years. Here's Julius.
Thank you, Ben. We have our final Golf Foursomes raffle winner of the evening, and it's Rob Bellamy. Rob Bellamy is our last Golf Foursomes raffle winner of the evening. We'll read out the rest of them in succession later on in the evening, but as we start at this bottom of the 6th inning, it's Hayden Jaco leading off. He shows bunt and fouls it off. If you're just joining us, the Baycats up 5-0 on a couple crooked numbers. One in the 3rd inning, 3 runs on a Hernandez sac fly. Williams and Macabrota following up with RBI singles. That made it 3-0. And then in the 4th inning, Kenise Ejo sent a 2-run home run to left field. Baycats maintaining the 5-run lead as we enter this bottom of the 6th inning. Jaco's 0 for 2 so far this evening. Grounds that one foul. It's quickly 0-2.
I was talking to Baycats manager Josh Matlow this week, and I was discussing with him how steady the Baycats have been. They have not been a streaky team at all this season, very stable, have not lost or won more than 2 in a row since June 7th. And that was when they had a 3-game winning streak snapped.
Cut and a miss by Jaco, and 3-pitch strikeout to lead off the 6th inning for the Baycats.
And Matlow pointed out to me that not only is that the case, but another interesting little factoid that has impressed him is that the Baycats have not lost a week or a weekend when you look at the calendar from Monday to Sunday. They haven't been on the losing end of any of those. So they've managed to stay out of any sustained losing skid this year. Now it's time for them in the second half to try to get a little sustained pressure, string some wins together, and get some traction underneath them.
It's always a good strategy for a team. In the major leagues, you always see it with the 3 or 4 game series. You just want to make sure you're winning at least 2 out of 3, or at least splitting a 4-game series to keep yourself above 500 the whole year. And that seems to be the same kind of case for the Baycats in 2024. Adam Odd on a 2-0 pitch fouls that one off. 2-1. Odd's 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning. He led off both times he's been up so far. That one's another foul off to the screen.
Wanted to mention how much I enjoyed the IBL All-Star announcement show. I think that's what they called it, or it was the reveal, the All-Star roster.
Selection show?
The selection show, yes, the roster reveal. Hosted by Neil Srivastava and Dylan Baker. And those two fellas did an outstanding job running through the rosters, the starting players and the reserves. Had some statistical information about each player. And if you haven't seen it, you can find that on the IBL website or on YouTube and get to know your 2024 IBL All-Stars. First time, I think, in almost a decade that we've had an All-Star game in this league.
The last one was 2016. Caught and a miss from Adam Odd, and he waves at that low fastball, and quickly 2 outs on back-to-back strikeouts from Yadier Martinez.
I saw on social media that it was today in 2015 that the All-Star game was played here in Barrie at what was then called Coates Stadium. And you mentioned the 2016 was the last one, so it's been a long wait to have an event like this, showcasing the stars of the IBL, the best players from each team.
So in 2015, it was the defending champion Baycats against the IBL All-Stars.
It would have been, yeah.
On the ground to second base, Spencer Ross gathers. Easy throw on to first. Gets out Tyler Plumpton. 3 up, 3 down for Kitchener as we head to the 7th inning. Ben Davy back on the mic to call it for you. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
Hi, I'm Chrissy Fans from 400 Chrysler and Barrie Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. This year, we are the community partners of the Barrie Baycats. Community is near and dear to our hearts here at the dealerships and one of our core values, so we can support local and shop local.
The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. Moving.ca. For all your moving needs for over 35 years, Moving.ca. The original two men who just happen to be small, who make moving stress-free. Two small men with big hearts moving. We always have a big heart for you at Moving.ca. From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
To the 7th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium. Ben Davy along with Julius Hern and the Barrie Baycats on top 5-0. After an outstanding pitching performance here by Baycat Juan Benitez. The last home game, Frank Garces following that right up with a beauty here tonight on this Thursday night. Ryan Burnside, Spencer Voisin, and Blake Jacklin for the Panthers here on the 7th. So we mentioned before the break, it was July 11th in 2015, so exactly 9 years ago, that IBL All-Star Game was held here in Barrie at Coates Stadium. Can't say I recall the outcome of the game or what may have happened that night, but
I don't remember the result of the game, but I'm pretty sure Cleveland Brownlee won the home run derby, if I remember correctly.
Are they having a skills competition this year?
They're having a home run derby.
Home run derby.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So I think there's gonna be 8 players in like a tournament style, kind of like how Major League Baseball does it.
1-2 on the way to Burnside. Just missed off the plate. Count is 2-2. Frank Garces, 4 strikeouts tonight. And there's number 5. Burnside down looking, 1 away. Spencer Voisin, the number 9 hitter.
Left fielder number 16, Spencer Voisin.
Frank Garces put up much more strikeouts last year than he has this year so far. He's only had 1 game where he's had double-digit strikeouts. Came pretty close June 14th, and Chatham Kent had 9 through 7 innings there. Got the win anyway, but looking for his 3rd 7-inning outing here tonight.
42 strikeouts coming into tonight's game. So add 5 to that, so 47 now. 9 walks coming into tonight. Even when Frank has, well, I'm not going to call it an off year, but still
standards, maybe.
The strikeout walk ratio is always outstanding with Frank Garces. And it's 2-strike count to Spencer Voisin. Here's the pitch. Just missed outside. Blake Jacklin, the leadoff man, is on deck.
Voisin's already struck out looking earlier in this game.
Right underneath the top of the roof of the Kitchener dugout. It caromed off the back wall and came ricocheting right back out again. Everybody's okay. And they toss the ball to a fan. Over the third baseman into left field. Base hit for the number 9 hitter. Voisin is aboard with 1 out.
Well, that's his first hit of the game, and you know, this is a great piece of hitting there from Voisin. Didn't really have to do too much with it, just caught it where he was able to put it over Hayden Jaco and into left field, going the opposite way. He puts a speedy runner on for Blake Jacklin.
It's funny how we mentioned Vintage Throne Stadium has some of the best dugouts and the safest dugouts in the league, and we've had 2 hard-hit balls to both dugouts tonight, 1 to each. A pop-up on the outfield grass, and it'll be the second baseman, Adam Odd, gobbling that one up, 2 away. This falls in line with that trend of whenever we seem to say something, the opposite often happens.
The one thing that you could make these dugouts safer with is those railings, between the rails themselves are open. So if a ball goes in between, it's going right in the dugout. So maybe put some mesh there and make it a bit safer for players standing or sitting there.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea. Big league dugouts, of course, I believe they have a protective screen,
yes,
don't
they do.
over the rail. Showing bunt is Spencer Ross. 2 outs and a runner on here in the 7th inning. Panthers in a big hole, down 5-0. They lost 7-3 here on June 20th. Now trailing 5-0 here tonight. Here's the pitch from Garces. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Saturday, July 20th is the date of that All-Star Showdown at Welland Stadium. And come on out and cheer for the Barrie Baycats. They're certainly going to be well represented. 1-1 pitch. That's a called strike. Frank Garces now a strike away from getting out of this inning.
A quick turnaround right after the All-Star game for the Baycats and the host Jackfish, because they're both right back here the very next day at afternoon of the 21st.
Yeah, it's too bad that Sunday night game or that Sunday game wasn't in Welland, because both teams could just stay there.
Yeah, it'd be way easier.
Here's the pitch, and it just misses a hair off the outside corner. 2-2.
It's a gutsy take there from Spencer Ross. Really looking for his pitch here.
That'll be our last Sunday afternoon scheduled game of the regular season. Jack Fisher here on July 21st. Plan your travels accordingly. Swing and a miss. Ball is dropped. And the throw down to complete the strikeouts. Stretch time here at Vintage Throne Stadium. A little take me into the ball game and heave away for the fans. And the Baycats on top 5-0. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Welcome back to Vintage Throne Stadium. Coming back from the 7th inning stretch. It's brought to you by Psycho Solutions, full automotive service from headlight to tailpipe.
Well, I tell you, I just smile really big every time I see Avery and Sandy Joy, our 2 super fans, behind home plate, leading the fans in heave away after the 7th inning stretch. I don't know how or when that started, but it's just become a thing here at Vintage Throne Stadium and a fan favorite.
Might be my favorite tradition. I have to say.
I get the fans up, stomping their feet and clapping and dancing, and always a fun tradition here at Vintage Throne Stadium. I'll never forget the game where it almost didn't happen.
That was a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago when our music guy, for whatever reason, played something from Pitbull instead of Heave Away, and boy, the fans gave it to him. We've never had so many dirty looks back here towards the broadcast booth as we did that day.
I'll say it was so funny, but I remember like after that they got through it, but it was only about half the length that they otherwise usually would have heave away.
It was a disappointment. The fans felt like they were ripped off. I suggested we do it in the bottom of the 7th as well, but in that case we just moved on. And there's a strike. First out of the inning.
Tough call there for Canisijo, and he can't believe it. Kind of the lowest part of the zone he possibly could get there from Chabave.
So Yadier Martinez has struck out he struck out 3 of his last 4. And he's retired 9 in a row. And his team trailing 5-0. But you certainly can't fault the man on the mound. He has done his job here since the 3rd inning where he got into trouble, and then a 2-run homer in the 4th. But coming out of that, he's done everything he can to give his team a chance to chip away at this 5-run deficit. Panthers just have been unable to do so.
Yeah, and he's only had 5 strikeouts this inning, which is a bit more efficient than you'd expect from the IBL strikeout leader, but that efficiency has kept him in the ballgame into the 7th inning.
Pitch on the way, and it's fouled off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. You see a right-hander throwing in the Panther bullpen, and a right-hander throwing in the Baycat bullpen. So both of these pitchers, Yadier Martinez and Frank Garces, may be coming down to their final stretch here. Martinez really heating up, getting Brandon Hernandez. 4 out of 5 strikeouts.
Ryan Burnside's actually the arm throwing in the Kitchener Panther bullpen. But in the Baycats bullpen, it's Ryan Lacasse warming up.
Ryan Burnside, you said? So
yeah.
He's in the game as a DH, so that would be something you don't see very often.
Two-way player.
Strike to Noel McGarry-Doyle. Yadier Martinez getting the calls from Chabave, the home plate umpire, here in this 7th inning. Comes at him with a 1-1, and that's low. This is how Martinez, I'm sure, wish he pitched earlier in this game. He is really on a roll here. Here's the pitch. Off speed and swinging through it is Noel McGarry-Doyle. Count 2-2. Martinez kicks and deals. And McGarry-Doyle hits this deep to right field. And it is a home run. A solo shot for the Baycat right fielder, and he'll circle the bases. It's 6-0 Baycats.
Second home run of the season for Noel McGarry-Doyle. Really had to reach down the lowest inside part of the zone there to reach that one, and if that protective netting out there wasn't there, that would have hit the brand new scoreboard. A rocket shot, a line drive, making it 6-0.
Martinez was a strike away from striking out the side. McGarry-Doyle got the pitch he was looking for, parked it over the right field wall. Here's another big bat, DH Malik Williams. Barrie in cruise control here, leading 6-0.
And as of late, the Baycats offense has struggled just to put up hits lately, but tonight hasn't been an issue. 9 hits already through the 6 2/3 on Yadier Martinez. Even the couple, the last few wins that they've had, they've been out-hit by their opponents.
Well, they've been stringing the hits together and getting guys on, and that really is the key when it comes to run production. If you're just scattering 1 or 2 hits each inning and not getting those runners in, it's not going to result in a whole lot of victories for your club. But Baycats did the opposite here. A big inning in the 3rd where they scored 3, batted around. This one towards the mound. Martinez makes the throw in time. So he gets the 3rd out, but not before Noel McGarry-Doyle hits a solo home run to put Barrie on top by 6. We go to the 8th inning here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Baycats 6, Panthers nothing. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV Barrie.
The Collingwood Brewery at 10 Sanford Fleming, producing delicious lagers, ales, and seltzers since 2014. the proud home of the Baycats brew. Check out their retail shop and tap room and select products at the LCBO, beer store, and grocery stores. Cheers and go Baycats! From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. Danielle May Real Estate, supporting the Barrie Baycats and ready to help with all of your real estate questions. What is your home worth? Should you sell now or wait? Danielle is dedicated to your success. The next time you think real estate, think Danielle May. Visit Alliance Billiards and Sports in the northeast end of Barrie. A fun, friendly family environment offering pool, darts, karaoke, and live entertainment. Enjoy a large variety of delicious food and drinks on the patio. You'll come as a stranger and leave as a friend.
To the 8th inning at Vintage Throne Stadium, Baycats comfortably on top of the Kitchener Panthers tonight by a score of 6-0. Frank Garcez's night has come to a close as he will turn the game and the ball over to relief pitcher Ryan Lacasse.
And Ryan Lacasse comes in. It's his first appearance since Canada Day. He had a one-inning stint against the London Majors. Only gave up one hit and an unearned run in that outing. He's only given up one earned run this season through his 9 2/3 innings.
Has a save and a loss, does not have a win. 9 2/3 innings of work. Some solid relief appearances for manager Josh Matlow here in his rookie IBL season.
He's going to be an arm that Matlow relies upon heavily over the next couple weeks with, some tough stretches of games ahead, especially with some back-to-backs and even, some stints with 3 straight games.
To left center field, and that will drop into the gap. And it's picked up by the left fielder sprinting over. As Macabrota fires that one in, it's a leadoff single for the Panthers in the 8th inning.
Number 88, Nick Parsons.
Speaking of those games coming up, I mentioned the Welland Jackfish are going to be here the day after the All-Star game, and the very next home game for the Baycats after that is our Pack the Park night. Free admission for that Thursday night against the Guelph Royals, and that's going to be a huge game considering what the standings are looking like now.
A free game for everybody. That's incredible.
Yeah, so I think Zenitech is the sponsor for that event, and they're paying for the whole park to be free admission on that night.
I am curious to know if that's ever been done before here.
I think it's the very first time as far as I've heard.
For a regular season game.
Yeah.
Of course, we have the exhibition games here. Thornhill's been here the last few years for a free game, but wow, that's really something. So if you've never been to a Baycat game before, come on out that Thursday night.
Not only that, it's going to be a good matchup because those teams have had a couple close games. Both of them have been in Guelph so far, but considering where the standings are now, with the Baycats and Royals tied for second after the Baycats lost in Guelph on Sunday, it's going to be a huge matchup.
Nick Parsons holds the bat high, waits for the pitch, and it just missed. Lacasse looking for strike 3, didn't get it.
Just 4 strikeouts on the year for Lacasse so far. He's been more of a guy that's going to get your soft contact. He's just been let down by his defense quite a bit.
Here's the pitch, and it's lifted foul. Well, that Pack the Park night is a great opportunity if you've got a large group of friends and you're just looking for a fun night out that's not going to cost you anything. And you bring your church group, your, anybody, any group of friends that you got, large family, and enjoy some free baseball here. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Nick Parsons.
Lacasse has given up 5 runs over his last 4 outings, but only one of them has been earned.
He deals. And it's ball 4. Just off the plate. 2 base runners for Kitchener. And now here's Tyler Enriquez.
Right fielder number 10, Tyler Enriquez.
Just the 2nd walk allowed by Lacasse this year. And that walk was in his first outing in the IBL earlier this year against the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, the Baycat bullpen has been hot and cold this season, no question about it. Josh Matlow hoping that Ryan Lacasse can play a big part here and giving the Baycats some relief work here in 2024.
Well, he's looked very solid through his first 6 outings and even so far into this one. And you said before the year he's coming from Laurentian University, and this is definitely the highest level of baseball he's played in his career.
Curveball for a strike. 0-2 to Tyler Enriquez. This Panther team is red hot, 5 in a row in the win column coming into tonight. But they trail by 6 against Barrie. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3. First strikeout for Lacasse, 1 away.
The catcher number 48, Junior Ibarra.
It's a huge strikeout there for Lacasse. It's going to set up potentially inning-ending double play here if you can get a weak ground ball or some soft contact on the infield.
First pitch from Lacasse. High and in. Nine hits for the Baycats tonight, 8 hits for the Panthers, but it's Barrie on top 6-0. And the Baycats' hits have come when it's mattered most. 2 home runs tonight for Barrie. Kenny Sejo, Noel McGarry-Doyle. And the Panthers just unable to get any momentum going offensively here tonight against Frank Garces and now Ryan Lacasse. Runners lead. Here's the pitch. Missed high. Tyler Plumpton framing that one, hoping for the call. Didn't get it, and now Lacasse behind 3-0. Nolan Misa is the on-deck hitter. Gonzalez at second, Parsons at first. Lacasse with a 3-0. And it's a pop-up. Plumpton off with a mask. Gonna be close. And it bounces off the tarmac. The youngster catches that on the bounce. And it'll be a 3-1 count.
And Plumpton gave good chase there, but just a few feet out of reach beyond the screen behind home plate.
Probably would have been an out in Guelph with all the foul territory behind home plate there.
Absolutely.
Really enjoyed seeing that ballpark on Sunday night. Swing and a miss, 3-2.
That was your first time there, you said.
First time seeing a ball game there. Yeah, I'd seen the park, but not an actual game. And, I always thought of it as a pitcher's park, but the outfield dimensions are a little deceiving. Center field is actually shallower than the alleys. So it's not a pitcher's park if you can hit it to dead center, but certainly a lot of foul territory. 3-2.
Yes.
And it's a walk. Ibarra keeps the inning alive. Trouble now as the bases are loaded with 1 out.
Yeah, Guelph's not one of those cookie cutter style parks like right here at Vintage Throne Stadium. From the alleys, I think it's like 397 to right center and left center, and then from there, the center field is cut straight between them. So you kind of have like a triangular shaped outfield as opposed to here in Barrie where it's more rounded out.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact dimensions, but you're close with that number. But the alleys were deeper than straightaway center. I remember that.
Yeah, by about 30 feet, if I recall.
Yeah, it's got to be weird for outfielders playing there. Barrie is just 325 both lines and then 405 straightaway center, so it's a little more symmetrical. The other thing is in Guelph, they have kind of a wooden fence. It's a little kind of old school looking. And the bullpens are beyond the outfield wall. Well, a conference on the mound as they talk to Ryan Lacasse, the right-handed reliever in the defense, and figure out what to do here as Nolan Misa will bat with the bases loaded. Last thing you want to do is let Kitchener make a little bit of noise here and turn this into a rally.
Biggest jam Lacasse has been in so far in the IBL this year.
Middle infield will be ready for the ground ball double play. Brandon Hernandez at short, Adam Ott at second. First pitch misses low. Lacasse having the plate move around on him a little bit here in this 8th inning.
Rio at first and Jaco at third, playing level with the bag.
Breaking ball in, and it's 2-0. If you're Ryan Lacasse here, you got to just pound the strike zone with fastballs and hope.
Here you really got to be begging for contact. You're looking for that ground ball because a double play gets you out of this inning, and you have outs anywhere.
Off speed, and it's off the plate. 3-0. Tough inning here for Ryan Lacasse. He's going to have to throw 3 straight strikes here to Nolan Misa, or hope that he bites and chases one.
Misa's 1 for 3. I wonder if he gets the green light here. With 1 out, it probably wouldn't hurt.
A 4-pitch walk. And the Panthers get their first run of the night. Laurel Gonzalez is in to score. Ryan Lacasse and the Baycats letting Kitchener hang around here in this 8th inning. Ryan Burnside to the plate. Panthers now down by 5. The potential tying run is on deck. First pitch. And that's up in the zone.
Bit of a weird inning here for Ryan Burnside. We saw him warming up in the bullpen earlier, and now he's up with the bases loaded in the very next half inning.
Called strike as he finds the plate. It'll be interesting to see if Burnside does come on in relief of Martinez, who was pitching really well in those middle innings. Gave up the home run to Noel McGarry Doyle, but aside from that, had a 3-up, 3-down 5th, a 3-up, 3-down 6th.
Well, I don't think Josh Matlow expected this outing to be so difficult for Ryan Lacasse. He's got Carlos Sano backing him up, warming up in the bullpen.
Martinez had retired 11 of 12. And Lacasse just having all kinds of trouble finding the strike zone here. Haven't seen this from him yet. Now Tyler Plumpton out to settle him down a little.
This is going to be another charged mound visit here, second of the inning.
3 walks in the inning. And he's in danger of a 4th.
Surprising consider he came into this game having only walked 1 this season, and that was in his very first outing.
So the Baycats have used 2 mound visits. They have 4 left. That one not even close. Another run comes in. Kitchener with 2 now. And nobody thought we'd see this. The tying run is coming to the plate, and number 9 hitter, Spencer Voisin. Doesn't get any easier after him. And Josh Matlow will come out and probably ask for the ball, and yes, he will. A right-hander will come in for the Baycats, and that will do it. An unfortunate outing for Ryan Lacasse, who just couldn't find the strike zone here in this 8th inning.
Yeah, it just seemed like he just couldn't find the strike zone. He had a couple strikes mixed in with 3 straight walks and a strikeout in between another one. Only makes it through a third of an inning in this outing.
Sympathetic applause from the fans, but this is not an outing he will want to remember. 4 walks, a hit, 2 runs so far. The bases are loaded, and they are his responsibility as well. As the Baycats go to the bullpen, we'll tell you about that when we return. Barrie on top, 6-2 in the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie. So Carlos Sano will be the Baycats' third pitcher of the night. He's been used primarily as a starter this year. It's his 8th appearance and just his second out of the bullpen.
Yeah, with the game having been rained out yesterday, that leaves only 3 games on the rest of the week, including tonight for the Baycats, giving Josh Mantle a little bit more flexibility out of the bullpen, being able to use Carlos Sano here late in this one. High leverage situation.
High leverage indeed, with the bases loaded and the number 9 hitter at the plate, and it's a swing and a miss from Spencer Voisin. Well, the Baycats essentially have 4 starting pitchers, so that gives them the luxury of moving one of them to the bullpen if necessary, and that's the case here tonight with this 6-2 lead in jeopardy.
Well, just like Lacasse, Sano hasn't pitched since Canada Day in London. He actually started that game, took home the loss.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Couple of weak swings from Spencer Voisin.
Just the second appearance in relief for Sano this year.
Quick chat as Tyler Plumpton's out along with the shortstop Brandon Hernandez.
He does have a save this year, though. That was June 1st right here against Chatham-Kent. That was a 2-inning save. A clean 2 innings at that with a strikeout. And for him, this actually, it could be a save situation if he does get out of this one and come in and get out of the 9th inning as well.
Here comes Chabot to break up the conversation, which was starting to drag on a little bit. Every Baycat pitcher has been used at least once in relief this year, including holds off. Count 1 and 2. Bases loaded. Ibarra at third, Misa at second, Burnside at first. 1 out in the inning. Pitch from Sano. And it's in and low. 2 and 2.
Surprising for Lacasse, had 4 walks after Garces went 7 innings, didn't have a walk at all. Just a stark contrast of outings from starter to relievers so far.
Time is called. Voisin steps out. That'll take the crowd away for a second or two here as the fans get back into it again. Voisin waggles the bat. Sano kicks, steals. Called strike 3. Big strikeout for Carlos Sano. 2 down.
And Voisin surely wasn't happy with that call, and that's another huge out for Sano, and just one little weak contact could get the Baycats out of the inning here.
For Sano, it's his 25th strikeout of the season. He has 13 walks, 33 plus innings of work. And now one more to get here to try to put out the fire here in this 8th inning. Kitchener looking to get back in this ball game, trailing by 4. First pitch, it's a called strike. Jacklin, the 8th Panther to bat here in the 8th. Baycats batted around, sending 9 to the plate in the 3rd. Kitchener looking for a big inning here. 2 on the board already. Pitch from Sano. And that missed.
And that one just missed, just outside. A good take there from Jacklin. Not worried about doing too much with it. Not necessarily trying to be the hero here.
Sano gets the sign. Plumpton sets the target. 1-1 pitch incoming. And that's high. They appeal, and he did not go. Check down to the base umpire, Dana Case. In that case, Case positioned at second base. Two balls and a strike. Pitch from Sano. That didn't miss by much. Again, same kind of spot. Maybe just outside a little bit. A hittable ball, but Jacklin lays off, and he gets the count to 3-1.
Yeah, Sano's bringing more velocity than Lacasse had, but he's still having a little bit of the same control issues.
3-1 pitch. Outside ball 4. Walked in a run. Great patience by the Panthers here in this 8th inning.
Second baseman, number 5, Spencer Ross.
5 walks, only 1 hit in this inning. Ibarra scores the 3rd run. Misa to 3rd, Burnside to 2nd, Jacklin is aboard, and the 9th hitter of the inning will be Spencer Ross. One swing of the bat can put Kitchener right back in this game. Carlos Sano. And a called strike.
And Ross is not a guy you want to see at the plate, especially with the bases loaded, hitting .364 on the year with 10 RBI. He's only struck out 3 times, but walked 7, so definitely plenty of discipline at the plate for him.
2 hits already tonight. Here's the pitch. It's high, they appeal, and he went. Ryan Hern with the call at first. It's an 0-2 count. And the crowd now will get behind Carlos Sano. The tall right-hander will try to get the 3rd strike against Spencer Ross, the 9th Panther to bat in the 8th inning. Baycats 6, Kitchener 3, 2 out of the 8th. Sano with the delivery. And it's hit foul.
Great protection of the plate there from Spencer Ross. No, he doesn't have can't really afford to take a pitch close at this point.
3 runs for the Panthers here in the 8th. They're looking for more. Sano gets the sign. Plumpton looks like he's changing the sign up here. And now stepping out is Ross. Sano will get a fresh set of signals. Sano to Ross. On the ground, foul. 2 straight foul balls by Ross to keep this at bat alive. And the crowd will get into it again. Sano from the stretch. 0-2. Outside. Count 1 and 2.
Just a couple inches outside. Good patience there from Ross to lay off that one. Again, the patience has been really going through this Panthers lineup this inning.
Feels like this top of the 8th has taken an hour. 5 walks for Kitchener here in the 8th inning. Sano, strike away. Here's the pitch. It's low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Same placement of that pitch as the last one, but it went from fastball to a breaking ball. Spencer Ross not biting at all.
Well, Ross is dialed in, you can tell. Sano looks in to the belt, and now Ross will step out. Can only do that once per plate appearance.
I'll tell you what, if there's a pitch clock, this at-bat would not feel as tense as it does now.
2-2. And it's a fly ball to left field. And the catch is made! A spectacular grab by Brendan Hernandez. Baycats are off the field, but not before Kitchener scores 3, and we have a ball game here at Vintage Throne Stadium. Baycats up 6-3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV in Barrie.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on ESSA Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park. The only North Barrie Market, your go-to for homemade meals, catering service, and the freshest locally sourced meat. Get ready for an unforgettable barbecue experience with Barrie Best Barbecue coming soon. All at North Barrie Market, 580 Bayfield. BarrieToday.com. Local news, weather, Baycat scores, and more. BarrieToday.com. Your community, your news.
Now a 6-3 ball game here at Vintage Throne Stadium as we enter the bottom of the 8th inning. It's brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Yadier Martinez pitched brilliantly once he got out of the 4th inning. He retired 11 of 12. The only blemish coming out of that after that 4th was a solo home run by Noel McGarry Doyle. Kept the Panthers in the game, and he will turn the ball over now to the designated hitter tonight, Ryan Burnside. That one hit Chubba Vey, a breaking ball. It looked like it might have crossed up the catcher, Junior Ibarra, who missed that one completely.
Well, not only that, it crossed up Chubba Vey. Had a ball hit him earlier, more in the leg, and this one really taking the wind out of him.
Chubba has no idea what kind of pitch is coming. The catcher should in that case, but Ibarra just flat out missed it, and I'm not sure if that was just a signal cross-up between him and Burnside. I mentioned this is Burnside's first pitching appearance of the year. He may need a refresher on the signals. You don't often see a pitch just hit the umpire squarely like that. I don't think that deflected off anything.
No, it didn't look like it at all. It just hit him right in the arm.
No padding or protection there at all.
The last inning and a half for Burnside has been quite eventful because he's had to go between the bullpen and then back to the on-deck circle because he was up in each of the last 2 innings as he was trying to get ready to come in for Yadier Martinez.
Yeah, well, he stays in the lineup as a hitter offensively, but they lose the DH, I guess, if they make any other changes. So, Chubba Vey, a fan favorite here at Vintage Throne Stadium. We love Chubba. We love all the umpires, but Chubba is especially well-liked, and we hope that he's okay. Knowing him, he's going to stay in there and gut it out. Get a nice pack on that thing as soon as he can, as soon as this ball game's done, because that is going to be a puffy right arm tomorrow.
Yeah, it didn't look like that breaking ball had a ton of velocity, but Nicky mentioned it hit him square in the arm. Especially wasn't even able to get ready for it. Just crossed up both Junior Ibarra and looked like Chubba Vey as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to ask Ibarra after the game if he was looking for a fastball there, and the breaking ball caught him off guard because it just missed his mitt completely. I'm sure he feels bad about it. So a delay here at the ballpark. As the Panthers will throw the ball around the infield, trying to stay loose here.
You mentioned earlier it was on this day in 2015.
Yeah.
So the IBL All-Star Game was here, and I kind of alluded. I had a fun fact for you. It kind of lasted a couple innings for me to get it out to you, but in that game, so it was Baycats, the defending champion Baycats against the rest of the IBL All-Stars. I was actually the bat boy for the Baycats in that game.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I would have had no way of knowing that. That's pretty amazing. Nice hand from the crowd here at Vintage Throne Stadium. So what do you remember from that game? Do you remember the players? Do you remember the score? Do you...
Honestly, I don't remember much. I just remember like kind of how the whole process worked. It was the first time I'd ever done it.
Were you the Baycat bat boy
I was.
or the IBL bat boy?
The Baycats.
Okay.
So I was there with the rep team I was playing on at the time, and I think it was Angus Roy just asked me out of the blue, hey, do you want to be the bat boy? I was like, yeah, sure. I was already in full uniform because our team was there.
Amazing.
We were all in the field. Our coach threw out the first pitch. It's a pretty cool experience. We got to shag balls in the outfield during the home run derby.
Sure, that was an exciting experience. As this one sits to right field, and it is right at the right fielder, Tyler Enriquez. One out.
First baseman number 27, Ryan Rio.
So Ryan Rio, who's 0 for 1 with a couple of walks, will step up to the plate here. Face Ryan Burnside. Burnside, the second pitcher for the Panthers here tonight. First offering, it's called strike. Pitch to Rio, fouls it off to the left. And once again, that All-Star game, Saturday, July 20th. Be great to have a nice turnout of Baycat fans there to cheer on our 7 All-Stars this year.
Do you plan on going?
I would like to. I haven't confirmed it on my calendar yet. Rio hits this hard to right field. That is long gone. Blame it on Rio. It's a solo shot. Barrie back on top by 4. And that is the kind of power that Baycat fans have been wanting to see from Ryan Rio all season long. He just destroyed that baseball.
There's a hanging breaking ball there from Ryan Burnside, and you can't give that up to Ryan Rio, especially being a righty-lefty matchup. Ryan Rio got all of that one for his second home run of the year, and it seemed like the Baycats over the last few games are really lacking the power, especially the long ball had been kind of lacking for them in the last couple weeks, and all of a sudden 3 long balls here this evening.
Joe, McGarry, Doyle, and now Rio.
And it seems like as of now, those home runs have been the difference in this game. 2 solo shots and the 2-run home run by Ejo.
And the Panthers with bases loaded opportunities that they couldn't convert in the 3rd and the 5th, but they finally got to the Baycats in the 8th. And it was largely due to walks.
Still weren't able to capitalize. They left the bases loaded, so that's 3 times.
True, even though they got 3 runs in that inning, they left them loaded. So there was more on the table there for them.
Baycats did the same thing in the 3rd. They got 3, still left the bases loaded.
A lot of stranded base runners on both sides here tonight. Hayden Jaco tonight, 0 for 3. Off speed, and it's fouled away. These teams will be right back at it Sunday afternoon at Jack Couch Park. The 3rd regular season matchup of the season. Barrie looking to hang on here tonight and make it a perfect 2-0.
Jaco's put on some good swings here in this at-bat, just hasn't been able to square it up. He's fouling it right back over the screen on multiple occasions here.
Here's the pitch, and it's high. 2-2. Pitch is high. Jaco with a walk. 1 out, 1 on. Here comes Adam on.
I mentioned earlier in the game, Hayden Jaco coming in today with the highest on-base percentage in the IBL at .479. That's the first time he's gotten on base this evening.
Burnside delivers, and a first pitch strike to Adam Odd. Odd singled and scored in the third. Grounded out in the fourth, struck out swinging in the sixth. 1 out in the eighth. Burnside deals, way outside. 1-1. Middle infield, Gonzalez and Ross, double play depth. Ready for the ground ball. They'd love to turn 2 and put out this threat and get back up there in the top of the ninth. Try to tie up this ball game. Here's the pitch. Another breaking ball, and it's away. 2-1 the count.
Hayden Jaco got a great secondary lead on that delivery. What if he has the green light to make a stolen base attempt here?
Wouldn't rule it out. Does not go, and this one's hit hard to right field. And it'll stay up there for the right fielder, Tyler Enriquez, who makes the catch. And they're going to try to double off the runner, and they do. As Hayden Jaco had rounded second, and he gets doubled off. And that will do it. So how about that? The Panthers are off the field. Long fly ball by Adam Odd turns into a double play. So Barrie on top by 4 as we head to the top of the ninth here at Vintage Throne Stadium. You're watching Baycats TV and Rogers TV.
From basic to cosmetic dentistry, Smiles on Essa Dental has all your dental needs covered to knock your oral health out of the park.
Carlos Sano on to close this one out for the Barrie Baycats, up 7-3 in the top of the ninth. It's brought to you by United Way Simcoe Muskoka, making poverty unignorable. To learn how you can help, you can visit uwsimcoemuskoka.ca.
Well, Carlos Sano will get a clean inning here as Raul Gonzalez comes to the plate. Nick Parsons, Tyler Enriquez to follow. Panthers with some work to do. They get 3 at the bottom, or the top of the 8th. They need 4 here on the top of the 9th. Barrie on top 7-3, and Carlos Sano, in his second relief outing of the season, has a chance to earn his second save of the season. Baycats play 3 on the road after tonight. This one's hit to right field. Catch made by Noel McGarry Doyle, 1 away.
Seems like just with the the big presence on the mound for Carlos Sano, the velocity that he brings, and he definitely could be more of an option as the kind of a designated closer role for the Baycats going forward should Josh Matlow choose to have him go that way. They have a bit more flexibility, like I mentioned, with the rain out yesterday. Only 2 more games after tonight this weekend, so don't have to use them in the starting rotation.
In case you missed the announcement by our PA announcer Rob Daniels, Nolan Macabrota moves from left to first. Ricky Phillips comes into the game as the new left fielder. Ryan Rio's night is done, and Carlos Sano will work to Nick Parsons. The third baseman, swing and a miss. As he chases one low and away. It's 3 in a row for Barrie after tonight on the road. As we mentioned, Welland on Saturday. That's an evening game at 6 o'clock. Panthers at Jack Couch Sunday at 2, and then Toronto. They're in Christie Pitts on Wednesday before we're finally back here for a home game on Thursday next week. And again, that is Pack the Park night. It is a free ball game for everybody. The Guelph Royals here on Thursday, July 18th. Tell your neighbors and friends. Strike 3, tag applied, 2 down. Strikeout for IMP North. And the Baycats are not away from shutting this one down.
Already 2 strikeouts for Carlos Sano. Picked one up in the last inning. Let's go bring up Tyler Henriquez. I think is the only Panther today to not reach base.
Carlos Sano came on with the bases loaded in the 8th inning. Struck out Spencer Voisin. Walked in a run, putting Blake Jacklin aboard. That was the only base runner to reach off him. He got Spencer Ross on a pop-up to end the inning. 2 quick outs here in the 9th. And a 1-1 count now to Tyler Henriquez. 1-1 pitch. Henriquez wiggles the bat. As he waits, and now time is called. Sano was taking a little too long there for his liking. Sano with the 1-2. Called strike 3. And the Barrie Baycats win tonight by a score of 7-3 and make it 2-0 over the Kitchener Panthers here in 2024.
For Kitchener tonight, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base.
Mentioned earlier in the game that the offense really had to show up for the Baycats to shut down a hot Kitchener Panthers team, and it sure did tonight. 10 hits, including 3 huge home runs, holding the Panthers to 3 runs in the process, even though there's a few walks in that 8th inning led to that, but nonetheless, it's a Baycats win. That's a big confidence booster heading into back-to-back games. Welland and Kitchener both on the road Saturday and Sunday.
Great contribution tonight from so many guys in this lineup. Panisi Joe, Noel McGarry Doyle, Ryan Rio, all going yard with a long ball. Frank Garces with 7 brilliant shutout innings, and Carlos Sano coming on in relief and getting it done in the bullpen to earn his 2nd save of the season here tonight against the Kitchener Panthers. We're back here on Thursday, Pack the Park night, when the Guelph Royals are in town. 3 road games before that. We hope to see you here at Vintage Road Stadium next week on Thursday night. For Julius Hern, Brian Backland, and our entire Baycats TV crew, my name is Ben Davy. Good night from the ballpark in Barrie.